Welcome to a new edition of Dorset Business Matters.
Thank you very much.
If you wouldn't mind, give us a quick introduction. Who are you and what do you do?
My name's Louise Seager. I am the owner of a company called The Inspiration Agency.
Okay.
We, up until recently, have positioned ourselves as a full-service marketing agency. We are currently undergoing a pivot to position ourselves as PR and communications specialists.
Excellent. So leading with PR and communications, and the digital piece, I'm guessing, still important?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people mistake PR for a printed communication. They think of it as newspapers and magazines.
Yeah.
It's obviously very multimedia these days. So even in the PR space, there's still a lot of room for digital, and we're certainly making the most of that. But in communications, yeah, digital communications still very much part of the mix. Social media, email campaigns, websites.
Got it. Huge. Whereabouts are you based?
We are based in Bournemouth.
Okay. Lovely part of the
5 minutes
world.
from the sea.
Lovely part of the world. Even better, yeah, 5 minutes from the sea. So give us a little bit of an insight. How long have you been in this particular business, Inspiration Agency? Great name, by the way.
Thank you. Forward it up myself. Inspiration Agency, I started that in 2011.
Okay.
I had, previous to that, owned a business with someone else. We're 50-50.
In the same field, marketing?
Yes. Is it easier if I go all the way back?
Go on,
and
let's
then
go
come forwards?
Let's go all the way back.
Instead of humping backwards. So I never knew what I wanted to do at school.
Right.
Had no idea. I was arty.
Okay.
But when I was at school, I didn't really know what things you could do with art to make money.
Okay.
Definitely didn't want to be an art teacher.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't want to be starving in a garret. And so I did business and English A-levels.
Okay.
And I did well, and I left sixth form, and I just had random jobs.
Right.
So I was an estate agent,
Okay.
a chef,
Wow.
I worked in a jewellery store, and then I fell into a design agency.
Right.
So just was introduced by my dad to some guys who owned a design agency. That was in the late 90s, and graphic design at that point was very much, branding, print, design for print, brochures, etc., advertising, but there really wasn't a digital element to it.
Not in those days.
No one had a website. So I worked there for 6 years, and it was brilliant. I learned so much, and I finally could see what you can do if you're arty to make money with that. And it was brilliant. We had
great education then.
Great education. We had some great clients, LVMH, Standard Life. We went to London a lot. We worked with a lot of big magazine titles like Men's Health and things like that. It was absolutely brilliant time.
Really good.
Unfortunately, that company went into liquidation.
Okay.
So I went to work one Monday, and when you work in
things
small
aren't quite
organisations,
right.
Things aren't right.
Yeah.
And they said we're all being made redundant.
Wow.
Yeah. So me and one of the other guys who worked there thought, this doesn't look that hard. Let's start our own business. Yeah. So we took our laptops and we went, bought a printer from Argos, I think.
Yeah.
And we started our own company in 2005, which
great story.
was supposed to be a design agency, essentially doing the same thing we'd always done.
Okay.
People started asking us for websites.
Yeah, 2005 it's starting to happen.
They were going, can you do a website? We just went, Of course we can. We had no idea, absolutely no idea how to build a website. But we learnt, and we employed people who did know. Then, Google was a thing.
Arrived with a vengeance.
With a bang, So then people were asking us about these AdWords and organic search engine positioning.
Okay.
So we started offering those services as well. Again, steep learning curve. And Google just changes its mind every couple of weeks about how it's going to...
And it's still doing that.
Yes, changing the algorithm and not telling anybody. So that went really well. We grew that company. We were a team of about 10. Much more, into that kind of digital space. I had my children in 2007 and 2008.
Okay.
And by 2011, it was just too much. My business partner hadn't got children. He still wanted to work all the hours God sends.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I didn't.
Yeah.
I wanted to take my kids to school or preschool. I wanted to pick them up at 3:00. I wanted to be able to go to special assemblies and all the other stuff that schools throw on you at the last minute. There was 14 weeks of school holidays to contend with.
Yeah.
So I sold my share.
So that's interesting, isn't it? Because as a man in business, you don't suffer from the same challenges that a woman in business does.
Someone asked me once. So I said to somebody once, he didn't have children. I think he does now. And they said, but it will be his wife that had to give up her career.
Oh.
Or pause her career
Yeah.
in order to look after the child. I don't know whether that's true or not. Like we haven't fallen out, but we didn't keep in touch. But yeah, it's true. Someone asked me once about the gender pay gap. And I said that we women, we take a pause in our careers often for 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
So it's no wonder there's a gap because the man is getting his pay rises for 10 or 15 years without fail.
Step back in necessarily at the same rate.
You can't even step back in at the rate you were on necessarily when you left. You certainly can't step back in at the rate you should have been on after 15 years worth of pay rises. And unfortunately, a lot of women go from really quite good and high powered jobs into administrative, quite basic roles. Because they've had to have that gap, and it's a choice.
Well, it's also wasted talent. From an employer's point of view, of course, you want people who can. The fact that they've now got children, women have now got children, and they might be, in their early teens or whatever, shouldn't prevent them from going back and having another high-powered job, albeit with the caveat that they still need to worry about what the kids are doing.
Yeah, but it's very, very difficult.
It is,
The cost of childcare is extortionate, and therefore, if you do the childcare and the work, and let's say you are pretty much managing to work full-time, you are doing a full-time job for a minuscule take-home. Could be as little as £500 or £1,000 a month once you've paid for childcare. I wanted to be there for my children. I wasn't going to have any more. They're not. Every day, every minute that passes, you're missing something.
100%,
And they're 17 and nearly 19 now. I haven't had any more. I'm not going to have any more. And I don't regret it one bit. Don't regret one bit having that break. I did still work a little bit, but having that break and spending all that precious time with them. Because now all they want is lifts and can I borrow some money?
Of course. Really interesting, isn't it? And I guess if you take the other view, which is these days, it's not unheard of for the man to take a career break and actually bring up the children.
I think it's quite rare.
Interestingly, I know two people in my circle. Yeah, two whole people. I know more than two people, but two people in that situation.
Right. I've only met one.
So it is a choice, right? I guess it's a choice as a couple as to how you manage that. But your point is very well made. Yeah.
Sold my share.
2011.
Started the Inspiration Agency, but it was originally designed to just be me working from home while the kids were at school.
Got it.
The deal of the sale was that I did take some of the clients with me, so I had that, day one, which was fine, and they understood that was what it was. I wasn't going to be available at 8 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock at night. This was the deal, and that was absolutely fine, and it was great. I just kind of accidentally kept growing.
Is that accidentally because you were doing a good job?
Yeah. So I employed another woman who's also a mum. And also wanted to work from home, have that flexibility. And then another one. And then the kids got a little bit older and it got a little bit easier. And everyone's measuring everything in pre-COVID, isn't it? There's this massive stamp of time that you can get. Did that happen before or after? So it's pre-COVID. And we were up to, there was me and 4 people working for me.
Right. All working remotely? No office?
No, we had no fixed office. And people found that weird before COVID, and we used to get asked about it quite a lot. But we all worked from our own homes. We would go to a co-working space from time to time, mostly to be together. We had found ways of working where we didn't need to be together all the time.
Sure.
Sometimes they might come around to my house, we'd all sit around the dining table. But it was working really well. Then COVID. Does everybody's story
that became the norm.
Then COVID? It didn't really affect the business very much. I was able to furlough my team. We did pause our clients' retainers in a lot of case. If their business wasn't open, I could have continued to charge them. I'm not going to.
Sure.
But then a lot of them came back and said, we'd like to do some one-off projects during this time. rebrands, rebuild the website.
Okay, good chance for
there was
pause.
Yes, there was funding available to these businesses to support them.
True.
So, or they had the money in the business anyway, and they weren't busy actually servicing customers. So yeah, actually, COVID wasn't a horrible time for us as a business. It didn't really affect us negatively, particularly. Post-COVID, everyone got the remote thing. Suddenly everyone's like, oh yeah, virtual working, that's brilliant. Yeah, let's have a Teams call.
Let's all do that.
I can't tell you how many times before COVID I offered my clients our monthly catch-up on a video call, and nobody ever accepted. Yeah. And suddenly, everyone's doing Zoom.
Now everybody's asking, can we do it?
Exactly, I don't have time to meet you in person, so that was great.
Jez, did you buy in Zoom?
No, should have seen that coming.
Me too,
Should have seen that coming. So then, after COVID, as I say, the kids are older, and I suppose I made a decision that I wanted to grow the business. Yeah. I think we got to the point where the kids didn't need me as much, and I'd noticed it. Yeah. So I'd never given up working. I always wanted not just to be mum, sure, but to be me as well. Yeah.
But as they get busier, it kind of gives you permission then to do more if you want to, doesn't it? So.
Just gave me more time, and I was noticing having more time on my hands, and what should I do? Get a hobby, or I love work, so
work is your hobby.
Yeah, work's my hobby. So so we decided to kind of grow the business.
Very good.
And then got the opportunity to acquire some companies.
Wow.
In 2020. Well, the opportunity came about in 2023.
Yeah.
The acquisitions happened in 2024.
Great. What a story.
Yes.
You're going to pause for breath at any point, or are you just going to keep on working as you have been? You love work, quite clearly.
I do love it. Yeah, I do love it.
The stuff you offer today is marketing as a whole, but with a speciality in PR and digital. Is that fair? Do you get involved in print or anything else for some of your clients?
So because going all the way back, that's my original background, the branding, design, print. Yeah. We're still very good at that, and we still do it. If we had stuck to that as a business model, I don't think we'd be in business. The digital side of things, as I say, we added that on when we got asked for it. So we still do websites. One of the companies we acquired was a PR company. So that's added in the PR side of things to our business. Okay. And in, I think, the current market where we are for our business, we're doing more and more of that. That's what clients are asking us for more and more. Hence the pivot into that direction, essentially.
So have you noticed over time that your clients grow? So are you working with bigger clients today than you would have done in 2011, I'm guessing?
In 2011, it was sort of that solopreneur business. And they're the ones that are willing to have somebody who's only available between 9:30 and 2:30.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they don't need more than that. Yeah, and then as we've grown, our clients have grown with us. And generally speaking, solopreneurs and micro businesses aren't really looking for that level of kind of PR and communication. Sure. Those kind of clients are much bigger organisations.
Right. Yeah. Great. So your target audience now is larger than it was in the early days, and it's a different offering today to what you did originally. Great.
And one thing I've noticed, there's some people very strategically looking at changing their offering, but it just happens organically over time. You don't necessarily have to kind of think, this year strategically, what direction are we going in? You can follow what the market demands of you. We could have said no to websites. We don't know. We don't know how to do websites. We could have said no to SEO. We could have said no to social media, but people were asking us for it. So we looked, can we do that? And sometimes people ask us for things and we look and we go, no, we cannot do that. We'll find you someone else. But I think if the market is demanding it and you've got the skills in the team to deliver it, then that's the way you go. Good fighting against the current.
Very good. So you mentioned people a few times in the conversation there. So let's just take you all the way back. So hiring people, employing people, retaining people. Easy, right? What's your experience been like of staffing your organisation over all of those years?
I would say in the beginning, it felt easy. Yeah, I didn't find it difficult to find my first team member or employ my first team member or manage my first team member.
Is there a bit of a mental block around your first team member? Because you had a business that was you knew what you were doing and you knew your clients. Bringing somebody else in as a solopreneur, as you were in those days, is that a bit scary? Because there are people watching this who've never hired anybody.
Yeah, no, it wasn't for me. No, I wasn't worried. It was someone I knew. I didn't go out into that kind of blind recruitment area in those days. So, I felt fine about it, actually. Yeah. Okay. I've always liked having a team, having people working with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the stats are quite interesting, aren't they? So 5.5 million SMEs in the UK, of which 4.2 are solopreneurs, which is quite astonishing.
Yeah.
Of all the businesses that you know,
yeah,
many of those are still single staff.
now I have a dozen. I can see why some people might choose that. The more people you have, the more complicated it gets.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And is that driven by personalities or organisation structure, or what's the biggest challenge for you as the leader of the organisation to keep everybody pointed in the same direction?
Yeah, I think before, one person, two people is fine. You don't necessarily need to have given your organisational structure and your culture a huge amount of thought. But once you get to a few people, you do need that.
Yeah.
You need to know what the structure looks like formally, and they need to know that.
Yeah.
And you need to know where it's going. And you do need to have a set of values or culture pieces, and they need to have been very clearly communicated. And even then, you are still going to get misunderstandings, miscommunications. I try and sit down with a team member every fortnight.
Okay.
So essentially, with a dozen of us, everybody gets FaceTime with me one-to-one at least twice a year. That's not that much.
No,
I mean,
it's not.
The interesting thing about that is we do have an office now. We don't, not everyone has to be there all the time, but I do see all of my team every couple of weeks. Anyway, we're working together.
Yeah, of course.
But if you think that's enough to know how they really feel, it's not.
It's not.
So many things come out in those one-to-one conversations. And what I've really noticed or learned is you've got to jump on things. If things are left to fester because you think it's not a problem, it's not a big deal, it will be okay, it will work itself out. It won't. It's just going to turn into a bigger problem, involve more people, and cause a massive issue. Yeah.
So honesty, really important, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. And the more team members you can get being honest with each other in a fair, calm, and equitable way, the better. Yeah. We have we have a weekly team meeting. We have a weekly managers meeting, a weekly creative team meeting. I encourage my team to have one-to-ones with each other.
Yeah.
All of my creative team have a line manager, and they're also actively encouraged to have one-to-ones with the other managers, or to go to another manager if they've got a question or a problem that they don't feel they can go to their line manager with.
Yeah.
And that helps, but it's still complicated. So a lot of people, we have all of our team disc profiled, and everybody has access to everyone else's disc profile.
Okay, good.
So they all understand each other's drivers and how they need to be communicated with. But even with all of that and the best will in the world, you are still going to get hiccups.
Yeah, which is where the honesty factor comes in, doesn't it? So if you can open those up and deal with those straight away, as you rightly say, then that's actually really, really, really important.
Yeah.
So people is one of the challenges inside business. What's next on your list? Lessons you've learned, things you might advise somebody not to do, or things you might advise somebody to do.
So I have never enjoyed maths.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like spreadsheets.
Right.
And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand business finance.
Okay.
I knew you made money, you spent money, and there was profit in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more complicated than that. And the bigger you get, the more complicated it gets.
Yeah.
And I put it off because it's something I don't enjoy.
Okay.
And you can't do that.
Don't ignore your numbers.
You've got to understand it. And if you don't understand it, you need to find somebody to help you understand it, and not to understand it for you. This is not the piece where the bookkeeper does the bookkeeping and the accountant does the accounting, and then they give you a set of numbers at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You have to understand it every day, and you have to look at it. I would love to look at it. I don't look at it every day. I'm not gonna lie and say I do, but you have to look at it
on a regular basis.
On a regular basis, at the absolute limit, weekly.
Yeah.
And I didn't to start with, and it made a massive difference to my confidence, to my calmness, and to my business growth.
Yeah.
To understand
the reality,
the numbers, and not just the finances. The KPIs, the leads, the conversions, all of these things, they're all numbers and therefore avoidable as far as I can.
Because you do marketing, right? So
yes,
why would you need
we do colouring in.
Exactly, colouring in.
No.
Don't colour outside the lines.
No.
So that's a really great point. So you're right, everything from leads downwards massively important. So do you have your clients measure the number of leads they generate?
I try my best.
You try your best.
Yeah, we often recommend a CRM for a client. We have a few different things that we can recommend for them. We're not CRM builders, so we'll offer partner them up with somebody.
Sure.
Or there's some off-the-shelf things that are simple and straightforward that we can recommend as well. But it's very difficult to track the effectiveness of what we're doing if they are not accurately tracking their leads and conversions.
Yeah, absolutely. So you do it internally. You need your clients to do it to prove your worth, I guess, in some circumstances.
Yeah.
Interesting. So just talk to me a little bit about the difference between I hire a marketing agency to do my digital stuff. I hire you, in this particular case, to do my PR. What's the difference in terms of outcome?
So a lot of digital marketing is an excellent lead generation tool if it's done right.
Yes.
And it's very, very trackable. So Google Ads, for example, you don't really even need a CRM to track the leads. I would argue you still need one to track the conversions once you've got the leads. So in Google Ads, there's a point at which it tells you you've got a conversion.
Yeah.
That is not a conversion in a sales sense. That's just someone's on your website and filled out a form.
Yes.
Then your job as the business starts, that's where you have to convert them to a client. You still need your CRM to track whether that's happening or not. But Google Ads has that trackability in terms of lead generation. And so do lots of other digital methods. PR is more about reputation. It's more about credibility. It can generate leads. It's the more people that know about your business and the more people that believe that you can do what you do, that know your reputation, yes, you are going to get more leads from that. And there are certain trackable metrics. We have a dashboard for every client. So every piece of coverage that a client gets, we can tell you approximately how many people saw that piece of coverage. So there are metrics and therefore it is trackable, but it is much harder, practically impossible really, to say this lead came because this person saw our thought leadership piece in the Daily Mail. People just don't do that. Let's say somebody did see a thought leadership piece in the Daily Mail. What they're actually going to do is visit your website and then submit an inquiry form. And then if you bother to ask them, how did you find out about us? They'll probably say, I went on your website. It's less tangible in terms of lead generation, but it's excellent in terms of reputation, credibility, building your position. So particularly for businesses that are in a growth phase, particularly if they are looking to sell, to exit, there's some kind of change happening in the business, then the whole kind of PR and communication piece really comes into its own.
Yeah, so there's a huge amount of kudos in that, isn't there? So if I'm looking to sell my business, I need to make it buyable, which means more people need to see it. So it's not about advertising to bring in a sale, it's about putting your brand out there and letting more people know you exist.
Yeah, and it increased value as well because, when those buyers come around looking, if you're award winning because your PR agency put you up for awards which you won, especially if your people are award winning and you're doing an asset that you're selling your people as well. They want to buy that. If everything looks consistent, that all the messaging, all the communication, you've got the mission, you've got the vision, you've got the values, and it's all very clear and consistent.
I love that.
Your social media is consistent. Your lead generation needs to be consistent, and we often work with other partners to ensure that. So many of our clients have already got a digital agency, and we just make sure that is all communicated smoothly. There isn't different people doing different things in different ways.
Cool.
Yeah, and if your organisation has been in the media, regionally, nationally, sector focused, radio, television, podcasts, magazines, newspapers. That's an excellent.
It is, isn't it?
An excellent thing for somebody to buy.
Yeah, visibility. So I always say you don't want to sell your business, you want to make it viable, because if you make it viable, theoretically more people are going to approach you in order to do that. So just pause there for a second. That's not even my phone ringing. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what's ringing. It sounds like WhatsApp or something.
Get off. Seriously, my phone's on silent. Let's put my computer on silent as well. You know what it's like with something Apple, everything rings if you're not careful, doesn't it? And it'll be ringing in the car over the road as well. So somebody will be wondering what on earth's going on. So where were we? PR, making your business sellable.
Yeah.
Really important. So other lessons. We'll come back to that in a second if that's okay.
Yes.
Good. So really important. We talked about viability, sellability. I think that's interesting. I think the number of businesses post-COVID now that are looking to exit is quite surprising. I'm probably talking to 3 or 4 people every month now who say, I want to sell my business. Is it worth anything? I want to sell my business. What's it worth? I want to sell my business. What have I got to do? All those things are important. So I agree with you 100%. PR is critical.
I think there's one thing that COVID gave us. It was an opportunity to see, for most people, what the world looks like if you didn't have to go to work every day.
Isn't that interesting?
And there are people. I didn't particularly enjoy COVID times because I don't enjoy that level of solitude. But as you say, it's more people thinking, if I didn't have to work every day, what would my life be like?
Yeah. So I guess are you living local to the office?
Yeah.
So you haven't got a giant commute?
No, 5 minutes.
Prior to this,
even at rush hour.
I was living in Hertfordshire where people were catching the train into London every day, 40 minutes in, 40 minutes out, queuing on the station, all that kind of stuff. That absolutely changed during COVID. So I think you're right. I think the message that I usually give out is really simple. Is you put on the planet to live, not to work.
Nobody goes to their grave wishing they'd worked more.
No. Correct.
And yet a lot of people spend more time with their work colleagues than they do with their family.
I know, absolutely.
Awake.
And before you know it, a decade has gone by and you've missed, as you said earlier on, you missed the opportunity to see your kids grow and change and so on and so forth.
And I think in some ways I was very lucky to realise early that although I loved work, it could not be my whole life. And my business partially is designed around that, not just for me, but for my team as well. It's why I offer flexible hybrid working.
Okay.
And people ask me about it. Other business owners ask me about it. Well, how do you know that they're doing their jobs when they're at home? We've got a lot of systems in place. We've got task management, we've got timesheets, and we're a small company. So if people are dropping the ball, it becomes obvious fairly quickly. But I always say, I think my team probably work more hours than I pay them for because they appreciate the fact that they have that flexibility. And whether that's for their children or just because they want to go get their nails done, I don't mind. But that comes from me. That comes from me wanting that for my life. It's the same thing with my commute. It's why I work near where I live.
Absolutely.
Because I can't. The first business I had, our offices were further out of town, and it was an hour and a half wasted every day. 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back again. What a waste of my life.
I often think that when I'm parked on the M25 trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
It is a waste of time and energy, isn't it?
Unless you can get some calls done.
Well, endorse it. You can't do that because there's no phone reception. Okay, really important. So obviously, a lot of people watching this are either in business, are looking to exit, or are looking to start a business anew. So what advice would you give to somebody today who said, I think I'm going to start my own business, I'm good at this, and therefore this is what I'm going to do? What would you say? What would you tell them?
So you've really got to think about your audience. It doesn't matter if you're good at something if no one wants to buy it. Or if you don't have a way to reach the people that might want to buy what you've got to sell. You've really got to have thought that through. And then one thing I find when I talk to a lot of people who want to start businesses, they spend way too long thinking about it. Sometimes you just got to get going. A lot of people spend a lot of time, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have a strategy, obviously, but too much time really, really super defining, what it's going to be. And one thing I learned was I started a business and within 6 months it had changed. And I did not know when I started it where that was going to go.
Interesting.
And 20 years later, I certainly couldn't have envisaged where it was going to go. Even a year or so ago, we didn't know ChatGPT was going to exist. These things change your business. It's changing all the time. You've got to be aware of it. You've got to move with it. But if you spend too much time overthinking and don't get started, then you will never be successful because you didn't take the first step.
You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great.
And you don't.
It's a great message.
It doesn't have to be 100% right. Probably 70 or 80% is fine. Just get going.
And then learn as you go.
And then, don't let it get under that, ideally.
Interesting.
But I think it's really important to really, really think, do people actually want to buy what I've got to sell? If you watch Dragon's Den, that is what they are doing. Nobody cares, mate. Go away.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely true, isn't it? So you've started, it's day one. You've got bookkeeping to do. You've got, accounts to keep. You've got, all of these other things that you need to be able to do. What's your advice to somebody starting their business today about how they approach that?
Learn more. Yeah, there's so many resources out there.
Yeah.
Podcasts, books, audiobooks, and ask other people. People love to tell you their experiences. Depending on who you ask, the advice might not be correct, but always keep asking for support. On day one, you might have to ask a lot of people for free advice. You might have to just have Audible and learn what you can. As you are successful and your business grows, you can pay for advice, pay for people to support you. You will have to do your own bookkeeping to start with, but then eventually be able to afford a bookkeeper. That's and I wish I'd known that earlier, rather than fumbling around in the dark, wondering. And to this very day, I find it hard to ask for help, to be vulnerable, to say, I've got this problem, I don't know how to solve it. But what I have noticed is when I do, everyone is so generous with their time, with their advice. And if you ask enough people, you'll get different pieces of advice, like parenting. And you've got to go your own way. You've got to go what feels right for you. But that is
don't be afraid to ask.
Don't be afraid to ask. Have a community. Reach out to people. Don't be afraid to reach out to someone who feels out of reach as a mentor. Because a lot of times they have been where you were, and they will be happy to give you some of their time. Most people are kind and generous.
Agreed. How important has networking been to you over the years?
We have generated practically all of our business through networking.
Interesting.
I joined my first networking organisation in 2005. I'm still a member now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We do, have leads come in from other places. But that is a major source of our leads. And it's not just that. We've got team members through networking. We've met bookkeepers, accountants, HR people, business coaches, everybody that's useful in my business has developed through going out to networking events and meeting other business people.
Really interesting. So what's the skill involved in networking? Because this is something I see all the time. I'm sure you do. You go to a networking event. What's your job at the networking event? For all those people who are watching this that aren't doing this currently, this is really important.
Listen more than you talk. So you've got to be brave enough to walk into, the first time you go, probably a room full of people you don't know. And that is terrifying. If the first time you can go with someone else, it's nice, but you are slightly dependent on them, and you would find yourself hanging on their coattails slightly. Because networking is a marketing strategy, we talk about it with our clients quite a lot. And I say, if you're nervous about going to a networking event, get there super early. Be the first person there. Because the organizer will be there, and they'll be putting out the badges or whatever.
And they'll be happy to chat.
They will greet you. And then the second person that arrives has to talk to you. You're the only person there. And then it just flows quite naturally. And then the more you know two people in the room. And then if you go to similar networking groups in the same sort of community, what you will find is that you always know somebody. So I can now walk in late, which I did last Wednesday, soaked because it was raining, into a room full of people and
that you already know.
Spot 10 people who I already know. Now I can make a choice from that. Am I feeling a bit vulnerable this morning? Have I not had enough coffee? Am I going to go and talk to one of the people I already know? Now, you can then fall into the pitfall.
This is a key point.
Going around networking events and just talking to the people you know. Now, there is value in that. You are building those relationships, which is great. And I attend a weekly networking event where 75% of the people are the same people I saw last week. But these are great referral partners. They know me well, and they will always refer my business, and I will refer them. So that's great. But you do need to be meeting new people as well. A lot of the time it happens organically. You're talking to a person you know, someone else comes over, they know them, they're introduced, or they just need somebody to talk to. But what I notice some people do, there's two things that I notice which are massive problems with networking. Very quickly, just going from person to person, group to group. I mean, I've seen actual flyering
Really?
Literally a lady, can I just give you this? Can I just give you this? Thanks very much. Went around the whole room, 40 people, and pretty much left.
Wow.
And do you know how many of those flyers ended up in the bin?
All 40.
Yeah. I still don't know what she did because I didn't even look at it. I just went, let's put it down and carried on with my conversation.
You need a meaningful conversation, don't you?
Yeah. And then the other problem that people have, or people do with networking, is just talking about themselves and or their business.
Yes.
Ideally, you do want a bit of give and take.
Absolutely.
You do want to be able to talk about your business, that's why you're there. But you want to be asking them questions and listening to what they've got to say, not just waiting for your turn to jump back in. And talk about yourself. You're a person. Networking is a person-to-person communication. So it's absolutely fine to talk about yourself. The balance has got to be there. You can't just chat business and no one's got any idea what you do for a living.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But you don't want to be that person who is essentially just doing the sales pitch.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
And it takes time.
Come across them all over time, right?
I have come across many networkers over time. Yeah. And don't go to a networking event thinking I'm going to walk out of this with a lead.
No, and you don't just try one networking event, don't like it, and don't go to any others, because there are so many now. You need to find the one that works for you.
Yeah, and then you need to be consistent. Yeah. And I do think it's important that you like it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, that is going to become a chore to go to, and that's not going to be good. Yeah. So find something where you've got the right people in the room in terms of chemistry and business connections.
Yeah.
Something that you're going to commit to. On the whole, I say to my clients, commit to this for a year. And see. Yeah. Then assess. And you've got to be tracking your leads and where they come from. Because if you're not tracking, if you do multiple networkings and all you put is...
Which one's generating the most?
That lead came from networking, then you don't know which one is generating. Some networking groups have their own platform to track that, but I always think you've got to track it yourself.
Yeah. Brilliant. That's a really great piece of advice. Networking, love it or hate it, is fundamentally, if you're starting out, is a great way of getting your name out there to begin with. Not posting on the local Facebook group and just hoping that people are going to respond and give you a link. Go and meet people face to face, have a conversation.
I always think with marketing, you want a blended strategy.
Yeah.
So I do see a lot of people that go networking, you ask for their business card, they haven't got one. Or you ask for their business card, it's got their website on, it doesn't exist, there's no website there.
Yeah.
So there's a blended strategy to it. You can't just go out networking and not have anything else communications-wise to support you. Posting into Facebook groups for certain kinds of businesses, business to consumer at a low level cost,
absolutely,
can work quite well. You know, you can kind of generate some income from that. If that's all you're doing and your Facebook account gets hacked, then you're buggered.
Completely true. Brilliant. So we've got a first piece of advice. Great. Love that. Challenges around people, challenges around maths, which you were quite careful to say.
Maths, yeah.
So we talked a lot about leads. So leads equals cash flow. Leads equals profit. More leads, more cash flow, more profit. We totally understand that. How good are you at running a cash flow forecast? How important has that been to you over the years?
Since I learned what it was.
Yes.
Very important. Yes. I have it in my diary every Friday.
Yeah.
That's my time to do it. And I'm very consistent with that now.
And do you find it helps you from a mindset point of view to know exactly where you are rather than imagining it or thinking it's great when it turns out to not be great? Is that?
Yeah, but I think it's one of a toolkit. It's not everything. You know, there's a number of different, what I now realise is there's a number of different reports that you need to be looking at different times. If you're only keeping an eye on your cash flow, but you're not looking at your profit and loss, you can still end up in hot water quite quickly. You know, if you're not looking at, for us as a service-based business, individually, how long are we spending on clients? Is each client profitable or not? You know, that unfortunately, there is no one, if I just do my cash flow, everything's going to be marvellous. And looking at your cash flow does not tell you how many leads you've got coming in, how many you're converting, what your conversion rate is. There's a lot more to it.
3 reports? How many are you looking at on a regular basis every week? So lead generation, obviously, really, really important. You've got a pipeline as a result of that, I guess. So that's one report, probably. Profit and loss, again, absolutely huge. Do you break down your profit and loss by client so you can say these many hours, this cost me this much, invoice the client this, so you know what the profit is per client?
So if that is a different report, our retained client profitability report, that's every month.
You've even got a name for it.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes, it's a beautiful spreadsheet. So that's taking the information from our timesheet system and comparing it, and we do that every month. And for each account manager, so not only are we assessing whether we're making a profitability on a client, but is an account manager consistently failing to reach the KPI for each client, and how can we support them if that's the case? What's the problem? Not like,
so identify the problem and fix it, not blame.
No, not blame. No, exactly. Because a lot of the time it's not the account manager's fault. It's just something that's gone wrong in the process. We also, our P&L breaks down our gross profit by what kind of services we deliver as well. So we break those down as well so that we can see what's making us the most money and what's not making us the most money.
Right, love that. So 4 reports, I think we ended up at.
I think you're right,
maybe 4 or 5 that you're looking at on a regular basis.
Regular, yes. Some weekly, some monthly.
Love it. Again, great piece of advice, I think. All of those things wrapped together means that you're running a successful marketing agency called the Inspiration Agency.
Indeed,
based
we're
in Bournemouth.
inspiring. Yes.
Terrific, Louise. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming along and talking to me.
So
and hopefully this is meaningful to all of our viewers. And we'd like to get you back in a year's time to see what your progress has been like.
Okay, I'll be too busy. I'll be on my yacht. By
there you go. Fantastic, super. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.